All right, it's wet, it's wild out there, it's windy, all the W's. Weekend.
Do your little ones have like cute little rain boots? Like, you know?
Yes.
That's so, I miss those days.
Do you want to borrow a pair?
No, not for me.
Oh, I got you.
I just missed like when my kids had like the cute little, you know, they had little duckies on them.
And they like to stomp in puddles.
Yeah, you know, the good old days when life was easy.
Again, would you like to borrow some of them? Not the boots.
You're talking about the kids?
Oh yeah. No, because the boots come with the kids. You don't just get the boots. It's
an entire package.
It's a BOGO.
You know what? Maybe for a day or two.
Oh yeah. Okay. You wouldn't last an hour.
I know, right? I've gotten so soft. That's so true. All right, flood watches are up for just about the entire state. A lot of us get over 2 inches of rain. So drainage flooding, yes, that's going to happen, especially as leaves start to clog up those storm drains. And we'll be watching the rivers and streams too. They'll be rising even after the rain stops, so they won't crest or peak until tomorrow morning, at which point a few of the smaller ones may be out of their banks a little bit. So there might be a couple of roads where you have to navigate around, or they might be closed because of that if they're running adjacent to them. But I think the bigger ones will survive this go around. We'll see about the next few if we get them. Usually this time of the year, if you get over 2 inches of rain, it comes from some sort of decaying tropical system or remnants from a tropical storm or hurricane. That's not the case this go around, but we're still getting moisture to come into New England all the way from the Bahamas. That tropical air has gotten to us, and we're watching these elements of downpours work in off of the water right now. Downpours have re-entered York County. They're around Sanford and Springvale. Light to moderate rain in Portland. The heaviest of the rain in the state right now in a few spots. Down here, Jefferson, Union, west side of Penobscot Bay. You go north from Skowhegan to Bingham. Oof, that's rough. That's some serious rain. And then we've got some more downpours, tropical-like, maybe even some rumbles of thunder from Rumford to Farmington along Route 2. In these areas, please reduce your speed, drive slower. Otherwise, you're going to hydroplane. I mean, it's as simple as that. And there are a lot of leaves that came down over the last few days and last night. We had a little breeze last night. You'll notice them kind of littered on the roads. And if you come up on an intersection, you got to brake it gently, you know, don't do it too hard or else you do a little skidding. Steady rain has gotten into Bangor now, and it's pouring down through Bucksport in the mouth of the river. And as you go east, it's not as bad yet, but that leading edge of that ribbon of heavy rain is coming your way too. Winds are picking up. We'll have a few gusts over 40, but most of the time we'll have gusts in the 30s, which will just bring down those leaves and kind of blow around Halloween decorations. So there'll be some cleanup that we'll have to do over the weekend. This morning's commute, very challenging. Can't stress that enough. Give yourself extra time. Take it easy on the roads. Midday, same thing. Rain and downpours for almost all of us. Watch out for any flooding, especially underneath those overpasses or again at intersections, especially at the bottom of a hill where the water kind of pools and congregates there. It'll still be gusty as well, so there'll be like twigs and branches, smaller ones that'll be around. It's going to be kind of messy. Again, some cleanup for the weekend. Heavy rain starts to shift east this afternoon, though. It shuts down for Lewiston, for Portland, for Augusta after 2, 3 o'clock. It's much better, but it's still pouring Bangor and points east overnight, and then first thing tomorrow morning right along the Canadian border, and then over into maritime Canada by midday tomorrow, and the rest of us get sunshine. So 2 bullseyes of heavy rain, one in down East Maine and the other in the western Maine mountains. In these spots, there could be 4-inch totals, and that's why we're a little concerned about the rivers and streams in those areas especially. Marine forecast, seas 7 to 10, southeast winds 20 to 40 knots. Gale warnings are up. Hopefully no one's leaving port today. Just stay on land, work on some gear, something like that. Wet and windy out there today with highs in the 60s. At least it's mild rain, right? Tomorrow, sun's back. It'll be warm, 65 to 70 degrees. Sunday looks good, partly sunny, 60. And expecting a little more rain early next week. Not as windy, not as wet, but still, we could end up with, say, around an inch on Tuesday morning, especially with some downpours again.
Okay, so much for the drought. It's a distant memory at this point.
We're not talking about that anytime soon.
All right, thank you, sir.